Student potentials. I don't know, but I just saw my favorite up there.
Okay, please, thanks very much for joining, everyone. Please, please, can you please mute for those who just joining, please? We're starting in a few minutes now. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, guys, thanks very much for joining. I want to say a big thank you for everyone joining. I want to say a very big thank you. So, and I also want to say a very big thank you to Dr. Safis. Can I call you Doctor?
I'm just a mister, no doctor, just mister.
Okay, sir. So I have an issue with my camera, but it's going to come very soon.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Olusoje for this privilege. Thanks very much, sir. I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much, sir. Thanks very much. And I think we're actually streaming live now on Facebook, so people on Facebook are also joining. Okay, so I would like to actually introduce our guest for today so that we would have an idea of who he is. Okay, so I'm going to actually write it. I'm going to actually read it in such a way that I'm going to be Mr. Olusoje. So please, hope I pronounced the name right, sir.
Yes, you did.
Thanks very much, sir. Thanks very much. Okay, so Mr. Olusoje Oyawoye is a social entrepreneur and author with 7 published books on entrepreneurship, leadership, relationship, finding purpose on earth. He's also a John Maxwell certified coach, speaker, teacher, and then a behavioral analyst trainer. He helps people articulate their thoughts, realign their goals, coach them to execute their plans with measurable results. Years ago, 1987 to be precise, he obtained a Bachelor of Science degree in economics and also holds a postgraduate diploma and a master's degree in business management. In his 35 years career, he has worked in all phases of banking spanning 19 years, where he left in 2006 as a GM to start a human resource management company. That company, Resource Intermediary Limited, now manages thousands of staffs for leading organizations in banking, manufacturing, telecommunication, and other blue chip in Nigeria and Ghana. He's also a executive director in 3 other companies in Nigeria and Ghana, a non-executive chairman of Microfinance Bank. Generally speaking, is a capacity builder and motivational speaker who is driven by desire to develop skills, best practice, competency in managing businesses, human and administrative assets. So that is our guest for today. Thanks very much, sir.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thanks.
Thank you, Miracle.
I appreciate that.
So it's my pleasure to be here with you and also those also watching us online. I'd like to acknowledge and appreciate Miracle Teriemo for this platform and what he does out there. Basically, taking the courage to provide the platforms and invite different guests to inspire the youths who are not futures of tomorrow, leaders of tomorrow, they're actually leaders of today. I've been invited to speak on the topic, making your potential profitable, making your potential profitable. My approach will be to just make a few introductory remarks on the topic, and thereafter, I'll just take questions from those of you here and those on Facebook. I believe Miracle and his team would read out the questions from Facebook and I will respond appropriately. So the topic again is making your potential profitable. I'd like to first start by defining the word potential itself. Your potential, my potential. And potential basically means having or showing the capacity to develop into something in future. So that thing is there, but it has not yet manifested. For it to fully manifest, certain latent qualities, latent meaning they are there, but they need to be triggered and ignited, or abilities need to be developed for that full manifestation of the potential to arise and manifest in future. Now, every human being on earth, I'm of the school of thought, and it's proven, no one is on earth by accident or by chance. So everyone has potential. Everyone has potential, regardless of your past or your current circumstance or situation. Because yes, I've also been there, I've been through it. Now I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm all of that. But like I like to quickly point out, I wrote WIC twice before I eventually let my people go to scale through. I'm also a third class graduate as it is. I also couldn't get university until after 2 years of trial. But if you Google me today, it looks like someone who may appear to have had it all smooth. But even through all my failures and trials, the potential was there. But those potentials they were latent. They were latent. So they needed to be developed and honed for me to become who I am becoming, because I've not yet arrived. I'm still becoming that full potential. And the potential ultimately that you and I need to strive to achieve is how God sees us, because we're all creations of God. And God sees in us potentials and possibilities that we on our own will never see in us. God sees it. That's why he created us. And that potential, for us to manifest it, we need those latent abilities and qualities we have to be nurtured. Right. So we have to trust God to unlock the potential that is in us. And a beginning point to unlocking that potential is to discover purpose. Why am I on earth? Because our potential is usually tied to purpose. A manufacturer of an equipment manufactures that equipment for a particular purpose. So we are a creation of God, Each of us, uniquely different, is manufactured and allowed to be on earth for a purpose. So we need to find that purpose. And it's in finding that purpose that you need to then connect yourself with the right role models and environment to help you bring out the latent qualities and to work on them and build the right character frames for those potential to begin to manifest. So whatever you do, don't fear failure, because some people are unable to maximize their potential because they're afraid of failure. Failure is positive. Honestly, failure is not negative. Failure just teaches you something that is a consequence of the actions you took or didn't take. So once you have an outcome that is like a failure or rejection or something that causes you shame or pain, what you want to do is to reflect on what you could have done differently. And that's where a coach, a life coach, or a mentor comes in play, because they guide you through those rough moments of failures. So never regret anything, even the things that may have cost you a lot of pain or sorrow. Because regret simply means somebody has given up. So regret actually is birthed when you give up. So if you failed at something and you don't give up, there's nothing to regret. You understand? Like I said, I'm a third class graduate. I wrote WAEC twice. The first attempt was all F9, all, not one pass. But I didn't give up. I kept at it. I'm a third class graduate. I didn't give up. Now I have a postgraduate diploma. I have a master's that are not third class. So I didn't give up and say, well, I'm a third class graduate. That is it. I didn't say I'm from a little town in Kwara called Iludu. So people like me from Kwara, we don't aspire. But now I speak, I teach, you will think I'm Harvard trained. I'm all local breed, local boy from start to now. So the potential is always there, and it is in you as well. The potential is there. But to reach your potential, we have to make changes. Nobody attains potential by being just who they are. To manifest our true potential, usually you have to go through certain changes. It comes with some sacrifice. There's some friends we need to stop talking to or hanging out with. There are a new set of friends and groups like Miracle here that we need to begin to connect with. This is not what the typical youth does. They're looking for how to just go and party and drink and have fun, or how to do Yahoo Yahoo as it is. But you can see him organizing a leadership session, connecting and bringing people that typically, again, I mean, for me to have this kind of session, I'll be charging quite a lot of money. But I'm doing this free because I acknowledge and I appreciate what Miracle is doing as it is.
Thanks very much,
so
sir. Thank
you need to make some of those sacrifices to connect with the right set of people. They don't have to be older than you. They could be older. Even I, at my age, I'm closer to 60 than 50, right? But I have reverse mentors. I have mentors that are 20s, that are 30s, much younger than me. They are called reverse mentors. I learn from them, right? That's what keeps me looking youthful and being able to keep at pace and not look like some old man, because of that understanding of constantly working on my potential so that I can manifest. Now, the second part of the topic, how do you then make your potential profitable? And profitable, I believe, is principally monetize that potential. In monetizing your potential, money always responds to value. Money always responds to value. Money is a spirit, and it always flows towards value. So you want to monetize your potential. Stop trying to be like Soji or trying to be like Miracle or trying to be like Jennifer or Lawole. Just be you and find what is your own potential. There's something about you that is uniquely you. Find that thing. Then find out the solutions that you have based on your potential. Next thing is you begin to make people know about you. And these days is a lot easier, free. Just go on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram and begin to drop quotes or points or just something that shows who you are. That's where I met Miracle, by the way, as it is. He followed me somewhere, and before you knew it, over some weeks or months, we started the relationship. Why? He must have seen something about me that he felt he wanted to benefit from. You understand? And like I said, typically when people ask me like that, can you speak? Can you do this? I just said, no problem. This is my bill. But I didn't even ask him that because I was inspired first by his approach and what he's
Thank you
trying
very
to
much.
do as it is.
Thank
And for me, whether the audience is 2 people or the audience is 1,000 people, it doesn't matter. It is because I know one individual
you.
impacted, you have impacted the nation as it is. So
Mm,
it's not about crowd or
mm,
number. So if you have value, right?
mm,
Believe me, it will
mm,
you will be
mm,
profitable, but you can't cover it up. I'm Yoruba, by the way. We have this proverb in Yoruba that says "Tishu enibanta walama fimbo," meaning if your yam leaves is sprouting, you cover it up. Don't let people
mm,
see. That is old school. You'll be broke and hungry.
mm,
People are like that. If you have value, you better open it up to the right people so they can see the value you have, then they'll be ready to pay for your value as it is. I charge per
mm,
hour. If somebody wants to consult me for coach or even ask me a question, I send my bill, you credit my account before we talk. Because I also have coaches and mentors. My main mentor is
mm.
John C. Maxwell himself. I pay him thousands of dollars every
Wow.
year for him to mentor me.
Wow.
So I can't be paying dollars for my coaches and mentor, and I'll be doing free coaching and speaking to people free. So first is find your potential. Find your purpose. Everybody has potential.
Mm,
Once you find your purpose, look for the latent abilities that may be buried and not developed in you. Find life coaches and guides to help you make them better. Then that's your potential. Let people know you have it. Exhibit it publicly. Before you know it, you begin to charge for it. You won't charge ₦1,000,000 immediately. It may be just 2,000 naira you are charging for your value. But over time, you begin to then get more confident, grow yourself, become more perfect at what you do, and attract more and more. So everything is created twice, which is where I'll round up, then I'll open up for questions. Everything in the world is created twice. First, from our thinking, then secondly, it is manifested in the physical. So it is important that you have quality thinking. And to have quality thinking as an individual, it's important who you submit yourself to as role models. Because what
mm,
you see or hear, or who you see or hear it from, will affect your thinking.
mm,
So those that say, for example, Nigeria is finished, there is nothing good about it, all leaders are thieves. I don't want to associate with such people because it affects my thinking. While they have a right to feel that way, I am a Nigerian. I'm in this same Nigeria. I'm not corrupt. I don't have those values they talk about, but I consistently find ways to add value. So if there are people like me, there are many people like me in Nigeria. So be careful who you listen to because it affects your thinking. And your thinking eventually leads to what exactly you do. Thank you very much. So I'll take your questions. I hope that I've covered the topic appropriately, which is making your potential profitable.
sure.
So I'll take your questions
Yes.
now, both here. Miracle can then read out those that may come from the Facebook end.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, please, thanks so much, sir. Thanks so much. Like your words alone just encouraged me. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate this word, sir. So
Thank
one
you.
of the questions I have is, sir, please, how do I actually monetize a passion that is not common in Nigeria? Like, it's not common in a sense that, like, an example, like, uh, in Nigeria, they don't practice the whole football in Nigeria, like the whole sports. So, that's
Yeah.
that. How do I actually monetize it? And how do I get rid of the disadvantages around me and the barriers around me?
I start with the second one. If they are limiting uh, people around you or barriers that are limiting, uh, you need to explore how to change your environment.
Mm.
You understand? Like I said, working on your abilities and potential usually requires some sacrifice. So, for example, this is not to shade anybody. I grew up in Butemeta and those kind of neighborhoods where uh, my next door neighbor was my landlord. So in the morning, people are brushing their teeth out in the open upstairs and they are spitting outside on the road. That is an environment I grew up in. But I realized early that this is not the future I want for myself. So I changed my environment by moving out of that kind of neighborhood to go to the upscale area. It cost me more money and sacrifice and a plan. It was almost a 10-year plan to do the relocation. But I was determined that if I grew up in this neighborhood, or rather I grew up in this neighborhood, but I don't want my children to grow up in this neighborhood. I want them to grow up in the Kois and VIs and those kind of areas. And I spent 10 years to work at it and I achieved it. So you change your environment. Anything you don't like, it will cost you time and money. So for example, wherever you are located, if you're in Port Harcourt may be an environment that is not suitable for you. Maybe it's Akure you need to relocate to. So if you are now saying, how do I relocate? How about my family? Then you are the one holding back your potential. Right. And again, a life coach and a mentor helps you to take those decisions and challenges you. But monetizing your potential, football or whatever it is that you have said, like I said, money always responds to value. Sometimes we confuse our potential with our hobby. Because if you want to monetize the potential, you want people to pay you for value. So sometimes what we confuse as a business, you want people to pay you for, it's just a hobby. And nobody will pay you for your hobby. Your hobby is your hobby. You understand? Your hobby is your hobby. So why should I pay you for your hobby? It's you that want to be doing European football. That's your hobby. Right. So for me to pay you for it, if you know, I can't then say that people around here don't seem to appreciate it. If they don't appreciate it, then there's no value for it. But there may be people around here that have value for it. So I need to find out who has value, who has a need for what I can provide. And like I said, the way to do it again is, so if I want to push that kind of sports, then on my handle, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I'll be talking about it. I'll be doing things that people, then before you know it, one person, two people who have a need for that thing I have, they begin to follow me. And after a while, I can then begin to consider monetizing it. That's a process.
Thanks very much, sir. Thanks so much, sir. Thanks very, very much, sir. So now the next question, sir, is that, sir, please, we are in Nigeria, and the government have not created a platform at which we can build upon. For an example is, we're in a school where we are being taught ed knowledge, and the next thing, like now the pandemic, the breakdown, the lockdown pandemic now, a lot of students have to sit at home, and I'm also at home too. So now they are saying that, sir, I don't have anything to do. What I'm doing now is just to sell things and then all of these things. How do I maintain the place of, I need money. At the same time, I need to build, like, add value to myself. And at the same time, I have so much responsibilities on me. And at the same time, I need to also I need to actually be in line with the area to which I know that I need to be in. Because there are demands from school, there are demands from personal life, there are also demands from society, there are also demands from family. And at the same time, your life is also demanding value on its passion and that which you have, which God has given to an individual. So how do we balance these things, sir?
Well, first, life happens in stages. So what happens sometimes is we try to run faster than the stages that we're supposed to be. So if someone is in school, the principal obligation at that time is school. So 70–80% of the time must be put in the school, especially because for most of us at that stage, we have an obligation to our parents to get that certificate as it is. So that has to take precedence. Now, if you have the capacity to do several other things, you can. But principally, if you're in school, and there are people who are in school and are running businesses as it is, but one should not suffer for the other. And most especially, your education should not suffer because you are chasing business. That's not to say you must have a certificate before you go into business, right? But if you have parents or uncles or whoever that are paying your bills, you owe them that certificate first. Then you can then pursue full stream your passion and your business, except if you don't need pocket money or anything from them and you can feed yourself, then you can call their bluff and say, I'm not going to school again, and go and live under the bridge and follow your business. When you succeed, they will come back and appreciate you, but they will first be very mad at you. But if you are sure you have a business that is a winner, right, then you can do that. But I would advise the school must take priority. Then you see this thing about government and nation. The reality is Nigeria or government or even our parents, they don't owe us anything. Each individual is principally and personally responsible for making it in life, honestly. Because people who have this understanding are the ones that have succeeded faster. But those that feel I have one uncle, I have one parent, or this government is not helping us, they don't amount to anything, right? Because it's in those stressful situations that you also actually see opportunities to create value as it is. You also mentioned something about the other obligations for you. Now, whether it is school or you're chasing a business, it's critical for an individual to make out time for himself. Time that you just rest or go to the beach or go and watch a movie. Time that, because if you don't nurture yourself, you'll be like a computer or a telephone that after a while, the system will just hang. And when a human being hangs, it means you have a medical problem as it is. So you must build out time of rest for yourself that you're not doing anything, but just rest. So there's a time for work, there's a time for play. Then some of us yet, there are demands from family, even at your young ages. Maybe you are the firstborn, your parents don't have much, so you are the one feeding the family or your younger ones. While that is okay and novel, don't also get carried away and take responsibility for those family and what. Because what happens is people who push us into those kind of situations, eventually you find out that the moment you can no longer provide for them, they find somebody else to provide for them. And you also sometimes make it easy for them not to strive because they will always assume a miracle is there and he will take care of it. He will take care of it. So be selfish to yourself to some extent. And so if, for example, I get 100 naira revenue monthly, my own principle is once I take care of my tithes, the next thing is I take care of me before I even remember family, before I remember friends. So each month I may say, okay, out of this 100 naira, 20 naira is for family. 15 naira is to help anybody who has a need. So once I finish that 15 naira that month, I'm not touching my own share. You wait, if you want my help, you wait for next month. You must be that courageous if you want to really achieve potential. Don't be carried away about meeting others' obligation.
Thanks very much, sir. Thanks very, very much, sir. Thanks so much for that. So, sir, now this question is for me personally, and I feel that there are a lot of things happening in society today. There are a lot of things, and one of the reasons why I actually started this was because I was in school and I saw the leadership in school, and I discovered that we need. When I saw young people, I saw the way young people. I started when I was still about 16. I started in tutorial center where I saw young people that were just wasting their life. I don't have issues with partying, but they were just wasting their life, and I felt so bad. And I wanted to help. So I started organizing seminars. So I was inviting people to come talk. And I think I started when I was 15 or 16. So I started in tutorial center. Students, they were about going to school. And at that time, I sat in that for like over 5 years. I sat like over 5 years, but it wasn't easy. But I just felt, okay, I was going to invest in people's life. Now, sir, what advice would you give to young people? So you've gone far in life now and you've seen a whole lot. What advice would you give to young people today in school and young people that are after looking for jobs and everything?
This is a principle that my mentor, John Maxwell, taught me and other people he mentors. It's called the principle of 5. all of us, we are the average of the 5 people that we associate with the most. So my advice to you would be to ask yourself, who are the 5 people closest to me? Now, you are the average of those 5 people. So let's say on a scale of 0 to 10, ranking, 0 being useless, 10 being exceptionally proactive, career-minded, and a nice person. So let's assume on a scale of 0 to 10, I am a 6. But the other 5 people I've surrounded myself with, they are 4, they are 3, they are 2, they are 1. What it means is, amongst my group of 5, I am the most successful, I'm the most visionary, I'm the most responsible. If you are like that, you are going to be a failure in future. Because you have surrounded of people who keep on hailing you and making you feel big. You are a 6, they're a 4, 3, 2. So they'll constantly be dragging you down. So for you to help them, you need to be bending down. And once you bend down to lift people up, you yourself, you are being brought below 6. So if you do an average of 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 and divide it by 6, you will find out, even though you are a 6, your own rating has dropped to 3.8. So what you want to do as a youth is surround yourself with people who are bigger than you, who have what you don't have, who are focused and responsible. So if you are a 5 or a 6, surround yourself with people who are 7, 8, 9, 10. You understand? So they are the ones now that will be trying to lift you up. And in trying to lift you up, when you do the average of 10 plus 8 plus 7 plus 9 plus 6 plus 4, and you divide by 6, you find out, even though you're a 6, your average would have gone up to 8.5. So that is it. Who we surround ourselves with is important. So you must choose carefully who you hang out with, whether it's in school or in family. So if you've never done the exercise, pick a piece of paper and biro and say, who are the 5 people closest to me? So I will assume now, for example, Miracle and I know each other. So if he's drawing his 5, I will be one of his 5. So whatever ranking he is, I believe I rank higher than him. So for me being in his average of 5, he will naturally be better and better over time. Just like I've also surrounded myself with people who are bigger and better than me. And in some of those that are in my own average of 5, my children are in my own average of 5. So it does not mean that people older than you, my own children, my son is 27 years old, my daughter is 25. My son is an architect, my daughter is in her final year architecture. They're in my average of 5. They are reverse mentors because I learn things from them. So they're better than me in some things, even though I'm their father. You understand? So when I say bigger, better, and more advanced, not necessarily somebody older, not necessarily somebody richer, but people who have what you need to make you a better person. So if youths do that increasingly, and you make sure all those people that say this country is finished, in fact, oh boy, there's nothing good in Nigeria, avoid such people. Avoid them. Because if those are the people you've surrounded yourself with, even your belief is that this country is finished. But people like me and many like me, we're making it in this same country without stealing, without no man, without being corrupt, in this same Nigeria. It is who you surround yourself with.
Thanks very, very much. Thanks so much, sir. I really do appreciate this. I really, really do appreciate this section with you. And I hope a lot of people have learned a lot. And I'm so happy that it's streaming live on Facebook. So a lot of young people will still go back to watch the video. And thanks very, very much, sir. And sir, I also hope that you also recommend someone to actually speak to young people like us too. If there's anybody can actually as well teach us also get better. So at the same time, we would be very glad to have them, sir.
Okay, no problem. We can have those discussions outside this. The reality, though, just like I've said, many people who have developed themselves and aspired, they repeatedly, however, may not provide free sessions. That's the reality. And you can't blame them, like I said, because it's cost them a lot to achieve what they have achieved. So that's the only thing. So to find people who would be willing to do it free and also to bring themselves to relate, And you don't blame them. I don't blame people
Damn.
for whatever they choose to. But just
Mm,
continue what you are doing. Like you said, this is
mm,
streaming online and is on Facebook. What it means is anybody following me will get to see it also. So
mm,
from there, if they're inspired by this session, they will begin to also follow you and vice versa. And then you'll be able to
mm,
engage them naturally. Because for me to be on this program automatically means that I approve of you and your
mm,
program. So if I approve
mm.
of you, that itself is a blank
Is
check,
a license.
is a license.
Thanks so much, sir. Thanks so much, sir. It's a great feeling. I wish I can do something to just show appreciation, but I hope everyone can actually say baby thank you to a coach and my mentor now. He's not my mentor automatically. So please, you guys say baby thank you to him. Thanks so much, sir. Thanks very much, sir. I really do appreciate this. Thanks so much, sir. So, sir,
Yes,
we're going to be exiting you now. Thanks very much, sir. Thanks for everything. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye-bye.
Okay, guys, thanks very much for joining to this section. I really do appreciate it. Jennifer, thanks very much. Boluwatife, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, and I hope we'll get to hear from you next time. You can follow me on Instagram at Miracle Yemo. You can follow me on Facebook too as Yemo Miracle Tete. Any of that. And we're going to be having next section. We're going to be speaking on selflessness as young people and young leaders. Thanks very much, guys, for joining. See you guys some other time. Bye.